Hey, it's Matt here. And next I want to talk to you about the process of shopping for a house. We've kind of gone through your wish list and now we're ready to actually go look at houses. I imagine though you're probably first looking at houses online. And when you're looking at houses online, there are a couple things I would encourage you to do. It's easy to get seduced by the photos. Double check the property facts. So zoom down a little bit and make sure that if you're looking for 4 bedrooms, it's actually a 4-bedroom house. Take a look at some of the features too, and maybe even go ahead and look at Street View on Google so you can get a sense of the neighborhood. You may be able to eliminate the house right away and save yourself the trip out here. But at this house, we're out here today and I want to walk you through it. The home I'm going to show you is a home that's in a neighborhood called Normandy Estates. It's one of my favorites. It's a new house and I picked it because it has a great floor plan. I think that's going to drive a lot of your home search. First of all though, when you walk up to a house and you're shopping around, take a look at the neighborhood. Take a look at the street, take a look at the curb appeal, and get a sense if you like it right away. That's a good start. Now let's take a look inside. I always tell buyers that I want them to focus on the floor plan. That's the most important, in my mind, the most important part of choosing a house. You can get new flooring, you can repaint the walls, but moving those walls tends to be a huge ordeal, and if you don't like the flow, it's probably not the house for you. So let's take a look around at this particular home. When you walk in, it actually has a downstairs study. We talked on your wish list whether that's something you want to have. If you are looking for a study, I definitely recommend you have a downstairs dedicated space. I'm just going to quickly orient you to the house before we go into the study. And then I look at the flow from the front to the back of the house. In this case, you have a guest bedroom downstairs and you have the master on the back side of the house. First, let's take a look at the study. Okay, so when you're looking at a study like this is a really beautiful study. I mentioned it's a luxury home, so you're probably going to love the look and feel of this particular house. It has a lot of built-ins. Some people like to have built-ins, some people don't, but take note of the details. While you're shopping, that's the time to pay attention to the details. One detail here that I noticed is it has a closet. It's tucked away, but it's actually underneath the stairs. So they've done a good job of utilizing the space. From the study, we kind of walk out into the main area here. This home product is called a villa. It's a more modest home than maybe some of the estate-sized homes where you might have a grand staircase. Occasionally I get clients that the configuration of the stairs is very important to them, so take note of that while you're shopping for houses. So this is the living area, but you also have to keep in mind this is an open concept house. Open concept is something you want to consider when you're shopping around. This will likely become your living space. You'll probably have a dining area here, and then you may have an eating kitchen as well with some bar stools there. This is probably a part of the house where you're going to spend a lot of time. So when you're viewing homes, I would recommend you dedicate a reasonable amount of time to thinking about how you would use this space. In an empty house like this, you're going to have to visualize how you might set it up. It requires a little bit of creative thinking. On the flip side, when you're touring a home that's occupied by the seller, don't get locked into their furniture. You're going to be bringing your own design, your own ideas, and can set up how you want. A couple of details to keep in mind when you are looking at a house. Some appliances are included. If they're attached, they're included. So this is an attached fridge. It's going to be part of the sale. Many times you're seeing a detached fridge. That's negotiable, but you should expect it will go with the seller. So don't get too wrapped up around their appliances. Some of the things when I'm in the kitchen that I like to look at are how does it flow? You'll probably be cooking and entertaining in here, so just take a look at how you may use that space. One thing I like to do is peek at the drawers just to see the quality of them. See if they're really good condition or if they may be beat up and you're going to want to replace them in a couple of years. And then at the same time, the cabinets, the condition of those. This, of course, is a new house, and so everything's pristine, but just some tips to keep in mind. Okay, so as I walk from the kitchen over here, this has a mudroom area, but I also want to point out the pantry. This is another area to take a look and see. This is a really large pantry. Pantries vary in size wildly, so take a look and make sure that the size of the home is going to meet your needs. Okay, so now I'm going to walk you back through the kitchen towards the back side of the house. One thing I wanted to point out though is the size of the backyard. So this has a good sized backyard. If you're planning on putting a pool though, that's something that's really important for you to keep in mind, and your outside entertaining space. One of the features on this home that I love are these really great sliding glass doors. Additionally, you want to look at the size of your backyard. Don't assume that because the backyard is big enough for a pool that you can have a pool. Most likely you'll be able to have a pool, but that's something you'll want to check in the deed restrictions. First thing though is it big enough for a pool and do you like the space? So now let me take you to the master bedroom. Something to keep in mind when you're looking at the master bedroom is to think about where it's located in the house. In this house, it's located on the back side of the home. That's something I personally like, but you're going to see different configurations of a master. It may be on the front side of the house, maybe upstairs as well. Just take note of that while you're shopping, and if you have a preference, make sure to identify it. It'll make your search a lot easier. Master bedroom, it's an area you want to pay attention to the size of the room. You may have big furniture you want to accommodate or just a big vision for your furniture, but just take note of the space and how you plan to use it. Occasionally you'll see really, really large master bedrooms. That's great, but just know that that square footage might be coming from somewhere else in the house that's a little bit smaller. Being a luxury home, the home I'm showing you now, everything's really well proportioned and at a nice scale. Sometimes you'll see builders didn't use the space quite as well, so just take note of it while you're touring through the home. Okay, so master bathroom. Again, you want to take note of the space and how you're going to use it. This has 2 sinks, 2 vanities. Think about that. Behind me is the toilet and an additional closet. And then I want to show you the main closet here as well. So I think it's really important to take a look in the master closet. Just take note of the size of the closet. That can be important to different buyers. This is a really good sized closet and it has lots of space from floor to ceiling, including some display shelving. So going back to the floor plan, one feature that's really neat here is it does have a second master closet. So you can have a his and her closet, and the master attaches to the utility room. So let me tell you a little about what I might look for in a utility room. I love a sink and I like having a lot of built-ins. Obviously it's going to have space for your washer and dryer, and this one has space for a refrigerator. So just little details to keep in mind as you're shopping. If it has those features, definitely appreciate them. And if there are features like this you're looking for and they don't exist and can exist, we'll take note and cross that home off your list. Before I walk you upstairs, there are actually 2 other features that I wanted to point out for you. The first is this right here. This home actually has an elevator shaft. At the moment, it just looks like a really large closet, but upstairs there's a secondary closet the same size. So if you're thinking in the future you may want an elevator, or it's a upgrade you want to make right away, that's something you want to take a look for. And the second item I mentioned was the half bath. Obviously your half bath is for guests, so you want to make sure it's in a location that makes sense. This is a good size half bath. Occasionally you'll see them this size as well, but just take note of the half bath, the finish out, and the location. I think that's an important thing when you're looking for that feature. Okay, so as we walk upstairs, one of the things you want to do is think about your upstairs floor plan as well. This home has a bedroom upstairs, and then it has a really great game room or bonus room space over here. Sometimes people, when they see an empty house, have a hard time visualizing this. One way to think about it is you may want to use it as a media room. You may choose to place a pool table, shuffleboard, foosball, or just a kid's play area in a space like this. Behind you, I want to call out a feature that's a really awesome feature. You're going to see it in more recently built homes like this one, and that's the closet for all your smart home automation. So when you buy a new home like this, you have an opportunity to come in and install all kinds of additional features on top of it, and they've wired those in for you. So it doesn't look like much now, but when you bring in an AV person, they can really do an amazing whole home system for you. And then lastly, I just want to call out what you might look for in a secondary bedroom. Something to think about is the mix of rooms per floor. If you're looking for a 4-bedroom house, do you want 2 bedrooms up, 2 bedrooms down, or maybe it's a 5-bedroom house? How do you want the rooms to be proportioned? You may find all the rooms are on the same floor. Just think about that as you tour houses and identify your preference. So when you're looking at secondary bedrooms, I think one of the most important things to think about is the size of the bedroom. As you look at homes, definitely think about those dimensions. And then I always tell people, let's speak in the closets. The size of the closets in a secondary bedroom can vary greatly. Sometimes they can be just a little entry like this, or they can be a pretty spacious walk-in closet. And again, your purpose for the room will indicate how big of a size you want it. And then finally, we have your secondary bathrooms. Again, things to think about. You may find configurations where it's a Jack and Jill configuration and connecting 2 rooms. Another thing you want to think about is, do you need a secondary bathroom that has a tub or a tub shower combo, or is just a shower fine? And perhaps you want 2 sinks, or you're fine with 1 sink. Just take note of those features. Many times, some builders, not this particular one, but some builders will skimp on the quality of their secondary bathroom. So just take note of that as you're shopping around. So that wraps up the tour of this house. Obviously a lot of really amazing features to think about and some key points that you may want to consider as you're shopping for homes. After you view each home, I really encourage you to take a moment to assess what you liked and didn't like about it, maybe even assign it a letter grade. That way, as you see multiple homes, you have a way to go back and assess and compare them and then pick out your favorite. I want to thank you again for tuning into this episode. I look forward to connecting with you in person soon. Take care.